There is not another debut album from a classic rock band that is better than Boston's debut album. You cannot prove me wrong. No one can prove me wrong. You in the comments, trust me, you cannot prove me wrong. This album is a masterpiece. The formula that they had back in 76 needs to be like eaten and like vaccinated because we all need that in our blood because it's so powerful, man.
A lot of people talk about their album Toys in the Attic. I think if Aerosmith was to debut with Toys in the Attic, I think it would be a different response to this
Mm-hmm.
album as a whole. One thing that I did take away from this album, though, that I think is missing in today's music is not only can you differentiate the bass to the guitars, which you can't do anymore in today's music, but I like the split audio, how in one ear you have something, in the left ear you have something. I like that. It's an old school drawback, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, man. I think it's just a lost not art, but like a lost little trick that I think a lot of bands don't do anymore that I think has gone away. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to a brand new episode of Riffs Reloaded, where we talk about all things hard rock, heavy metal, and in this case, classic rock on today's episode. But before we get into all that, I am, of course, your host, Nick, and on the other side there is your co host and my brother, Willie. Willie, what's up, brother?
Going on, man? How you doing today?
Hanging in there, dude. We got a pretty jam-packed show today, man. We're kicking it old school here a little bit. We've been kind of going back and forth between different metal topics and different hard rock topics, but today we're gonna kick it way back to the '70s, bro, and we're gonna talk about some classic rock, man. We are talking about battle of the debut albums today between the legendary Boston and the legendary Aerosmith, going head to head to see who had the better debut album. This should be a good, fun episode. We haven't done really too much classic rock other than Sabbath and Zeppelin, yeah?
Yeah, I think that was the only one that we have done, and we did what, 3 episodes of that one or 2 episodes, something like
Two.
that. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
two.
was pretty much it. That's it so far, anyways.
Yeah, I'm excited for this, man. I know we're known more for the heavy metal side of things over here on this channel, but it's kind of cool to go back and kick it old school, dude. And hopefully we get some other classic rock coming into the rotation later on down the line, and hopefully some hair metal, some stuff like that, dude. This should be a fun trip down memory lane, man.
Yeah, man, I feel like there's so much to cover, and good thing we have a podcast because we have an endless amount of time that we can cover all this endless amount of music. Because there's a lot, man. Like just like I said, we're going back to the '70s, '73 to be exact. Like that's a long time ago now, right?
Yep.
And everything in between from 1973 to now, like it's just incredible how much music is actually out there.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It is crazy to think about, man. But before we get further on in today's episode, I just want to remind all you good folks out there to please do us a favor. Like us on X, like us on Instagram, like us and subscribe to us on YouTube. It's free. We appreciate all your support. Share it far and wide to all your friends and family out there. Let them know where you're getting all the classic rock talk today that we're going to be doing on this show here tonight. But we appreciate all of you tuning in as always, and we appreciate all the support that you guys give us. With that being said, Willie, Boston versus Aerosmith, man. Who would have thought of the day that on this channel we would be talking Boston and Aerosmith? But I think this is a pretty good head to head matchup here between the two. Before we get into the albums themselves, what's your overall feeling and overall fanness, I guess you could say, fandom of both Boston and Aerosmith?
Man, this is gonna probably hit people in the wrong way, but I'm actually not a big fan of Aerosmith. I never really have been. They have a couple of hits here and there, which I enjoy, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to like play them. So Aerosmith is kind of hit and miss for me. So I'd be very curious for you all to hear my opinion on their debut album. And then Boston, I thought I knew less, and now I realize that I know a lot more of Boston than I thought I did, which is amazing because we'll get into it. But yeah, for Boston, man, I was like, damn, I did not know I knew this many fucking songs, but I do. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Boston's kind of a sleeper band, man. It's like you've heard their songs numerous times, but you've really never paid attention that this is Boston until you go and do a Boston review like we're about to do here tonight. But they were like a really big band at one time, and then a sharp drop off, boom, right off the cliff. And we'll touch in a little bit of that as we go along in this episode. But I'm ready to kick into it, man. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. We're going to kick off with the legendary Aerosmith from the New England area. Of course, in the United States, both bands are. And we're going to talk about the debut album of Aerosmith, titled Aerosmith today. The album came out January 5th, 1973. But for some odd reason, the record company did not get behind Aerosmith. They did not publicize the album very well, and they completely dropped the ball on the artwork itself, the cover art. So the album really didn't gain much steam until 1976, believe it or not, which is kind of hard to fathom. But yeah, man, Aerosmith, dude, legendary band. Of course, they've got Steven Tyler on vocals, Joe Perry on lead guitar, Brad Whitford on rhythm guitar, Tom Hamilton on bass, and Joey Kramer on drums. And if I'm not mistaken, all these members are still in the band today, whenever they get together and do some stuff. So that's pretty interesting to note.
Damn.
But yeah, man, let's kick it off, dude. We got the opening track coming in at 3 minutes and 41 seconds. We have Make It, bro. What'd you think?
So yeah, man, track number one. Didn't really know what to expect with their debut album, and I thought this was a groovy start to the album, man. Already it showcases Steven Tyler's vocals in the first track, which was nice. It lets everyone know who he is and what he sounds like, and yeah, and the solo was good. It was just a good opening. I had nothing bad to say about this one.
Yeah, I agree, man. It was a decent opener. It had good riffs, a good drum background to the song as well. It's a typical of the standard of the times when it comes to that blues, rock and roll kind of mixture that they did. Back then, a lot of the bands did the same shit. But it's funny to note too. I will say that when Aerosmith first came out, a lot of the magazines and a lot of critics were labeling them as like a knockoff Rolling Stones, and I guess you could say like today would be a Timu Rolling Stones. I kind of see where people are coming from on that, but at the same time too, they were bringing their own style of rock and roll. You know what I mean? Kind of like their own style of American rock and roll. Because at this time, in the early '70s, man, we are dominated by British rock and roll. You know what I mean? There's very few bands on the
Hmm.
state side because they were still all pretty much pop. You had Herman's Hermits and all them guys, doing good songs, but they were more poppy, and then Aerosmith comes along and they kind of bring about that roughness, that attitude spirit of that rock and roll that you were hearing over, across the pond, and now they're bringing it here to the United States. So I kind of get where the critics are coming from, man, but in my opinion, I don't know if that's a decent or fair opinion on Aerosmith being a knockoff Rolling Stones.
No, you can kind of see it in some ways, but I wouldn't say it's a knockoff. I would say it's probably very much influenced by. That would be a
Hmm.
better way to put it, but
Yeah,
definitely not a knockoff at all.
agreed. Track number two coming in at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. We've got Somebody. What'd you think?
So something you touched on the last track is how I want to talk about this track. It is the walking riff, man, very bluesy, very blue bluesy. You can definitely tell it's coming out of the '60s, and it's not a bad thing. It's an okay song. I dig the walking riff. I think the walking riff really stood out to me the most in this song.
I agree. I got not bad. There was a good solo in the song as well, and yeah, dude, the riff itself was a walking riff, which is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? It was a nice little riff, decent second song on the album. Track number three, I think, goes without saying. 4 minutes and 28 seconds. We've got the iconic and the classic Aerosmith song "Dream On." What'd you think?
Classic, man. It's probably their most famous song. And I did not know this was on their debut album. I
Hmm.
had no idea. I did not think that this song came out in 1973 because this song is completely different from all the other songs on the entire album. It is definitely out of place, I feel like. I feel like the rest of the album fell short with this song being as grand at it that it is. But I mean, the song itself, man, it's a slow build up. Tyler's vocals really shine in this song. Good melody, and I put down very different from the first two songs.
Yep, I agree. The track itself took off like Wildfire, dude. It became an instant classic hit for Aerosmith when it came out. It was in top rotation in all the radio rock stations across the country, and especially in Boston, where they're from. And yeah, man, it's a classic song, dude. It needed more love at the time. You know, I say that because it was a standard radio hit, but I think it only peaked at like number 59. I think it was on the radio rock, sequences and all that. So I'd be interested to know, like back then in 1973, what the hell was being played rock and roll wise? Was it still, were the Beatles even still a thing in 1973? What I know Elvis was kind of still a thing in 1973, but
I
like
don't
what the
know.
hell else was out there rock and roll wise? You could take it maybe Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, but other than that, like what other is really dominating rock and roll? You know what I mean? To be
Right.
number 59 of all things.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kind of crazy. But one thing I want to touch on this song too is Steven Tyler's vocals, bro. He hits those fucking high notes, man.
Oh yeah.
Dream on, dream on. He ever really did that ever again in any song? But it showed that he could at one time because he gets a lot of slack or a lot of flack, I should say, for being not the greatest vocalist, lead vocalist, kind of same thing as Mick Jagger from Rolling Stones, but they
Hmm.
bring that swagger, that style to the stage. They bring that frontman presence, so they give him a pass on that. But yeah, man, I think it was a
Yeah.
really good song. Still holds up today. If a band
Hmm.
was to put out this song today, I think it'd be a hit, just like it was back then. So they got
Yep.
that going for them. Track number 4, which is the longest track on the record, coming in at 7 minutes long. We've got One Way Street. What'd you think?
Oh boy. The harmonica surprised me. I
Mm-hmm.
was not expecting that to come off. But other than that, way too long for me. And yeah, it did not do a damn thing for me
Yep.
whatsoever.
Yep. I agree, man. The it had a good solo in the song, and the band does sound tight in this song. Like they feel like really compact, But I agree, it's way too long of a song, and it was repetitive, in a
Hmm.
lot of ways. A little too repetitive, and especially at 7 minutes long. I think they could
Yeah.
have slashed half of off that song, and it would have been, a little bit better of a song than a 7 minute song. But it is what it is, man. Taking us over to track number 5, we've got probably, which is the other most known song on this record, other than Dream On. We've got Mama Kin coming in at 4 minutes and 25 seconds, man. What'd you think?
It's another classic Aerosmith song, man. I really dig this song a lot. This is the other one on the album that, of course, I knew. The riff fits Tyler's vocals so well, and again, we have another walking riff, which is a classic fucking blues riff, easy. But I mean, this song I think is probably like the besides Dream On, like the most perfect song on the album. It goes well with the band. The band, every part is played perfectly in the song.
Yep, I agree. It's as soon as you hear that opening riff from Joe Perry, dude, it's like you know what song this is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mama Kin is a classic for them. It is a very much a bluesy song, and especially for the time, as we mentioned earlier, in the early '70s, a lot of the rock and roll bands were doing this. And Joe Perry, dude, is working his fucking ass off in this song, dude, with his riffs, man.
Hmm.
His playing. As a guitarist, dude, like he is fucking. He's doing some work on this song, bro. It's not just, a one way fucking, like, he's all over that bitch,
Yeah.
plucking and picking along, dude. But iconic fucking Aerosmith song, dude. Can't say much more about it. Track number 6, coming in at 4 minutes and 11 seconds. We've got Write Me a Letter. Willie, don't write me a letter. Just tell me what you think.
I thought it was generic as fuck. Very
Hmm.
generic song. Second half is better than the first half. They're just shedding off the '60s, man. Like they're really like trying to shed it off, and this song was just like, bro, like nothing's going on in this fucking song. It was just, yeah, generic.
Yeah. I pretty much got the same thing here. I said there was a pretty fun groove in the song if you kind of like sit back and just listen to it as it is. The drums were pretty good in the song as well, but I do agree with you that it really doesn't do much, and that you can
Mm-mm.
tell it's kind of like playing off of like where things were to how they're progressing in the rock and roll world. It's kind of like they're stuck in the middle between both sides. You know what I mean? Um, Definitely not a song that I would go out of my way to go back and listen to off this record. But with that being said, move over to track number 7. We've got Moving Out, man, at 5 minutes and 3 seconds. What'd you think?
So the guitar riff is fun as fuck, especially after the 1 minute mark when the band kicks in. The song really comes alive, and that riff is just a fun bluesy riff, but not your standard bluesy riff. It has a little bit of like a twang to it, and it was just fun to fucking hear. It's a fun song, and I think I would definitely play this on a road trip, or if I'm fishing and drinking a beer. It's definitely a chill song that I would turn on.
Yep, I agree with you, dude. This song, other than Dream On, is the most different sounding song on this record. Um, it had really good guitars, and there was moments of some hard rock in this song as well, with that guitar and the backing of the bass and the drums and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. Steven Tyler too brought it in this song as well. It showed a little bit of attitude, man. You know what
A
I
little
mean? In this
bit.
song, talking about like moving out, getting the fuck away, and like just getting rid of everything, bro. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's probably my favorite spoiler, my favorite track on the record. It was different, man, and I like different, dude. Especially back then in 1973, actually 1972 when they recorded this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Things were not what we expect them to be today, obviously. But things really didn't progress in the hard rock world until I want to say probably a little bit later on after this record was released. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Towards the late 70s is when we started getting some of the Motorheads and some of that shit coming through. You know what I mean? But at the time, I think that this song is a very underrated song, and this is a song I wouldn't mind if they, pull out of their back pocket one day whenever they play again and throw it out
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be nice.
Track number 8, man, closing us out, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Another song that everybody would know from this record. We've got "Walking the Dog," bro, which I think is a cover, if I'm not mistaken. But
Hmm.
anyway, what'd you think of it?
It's a fun riff. It gets your head moving. It's an okay ending to the album. It's nothing crazy, but it shows the consistency to the album is very much sums up what we've been hearing all along. But yeah, it's nothing crazy, but it's an okay ending.
Which would make sense because now, as I do my research on this, which I should have done beforehand, it was released in 1963 from a guy named Rufus Thomas, who was a blues player.
Hmm.
And it became a top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1963, December of 1963, and remained there for 14 weeks. So it's probably no wonder why Aerosmith decided to cover this track 10 years later. But
Yep.
yeah, man, good riff. It was a fun closer for what the album was. I'm a
Yes.
stickler for good openers and good closers, and for the album that they gave us as a debut here for Aerosmith. I will say that it was a fun closer. Other than that, man, like, what's your sum up of Aerosmith's debut album, dude?
So I don't think it was a bad debut. They really showcased everything that they had. You had Perry with a good guitar, really showcasing what he could do. You had Tyler with his vocals. The band was tight. You could see that they are leaning towards a successful future, which of course they have. And yeah, it was just an okay debut that led to where they are now. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about their album Toys in the Attic. I think if Aerosmith was to debut with Toys in the Attic, I think it would be a different response to this
Mm-hmm.
album as a whole. But for me, I was an Aerosmith fan. I like their stuff from like the mid to late '80s through the early '90s. Is my kind of Aerosmith when it was fun and upbeat. And as a matter of fact, I think it's when they were I don't know if it was them or the record company they were with at the time decided to hire a songwriter to come in and start doing the Aerosmith songs instead of them. And that's what really propelled Aerosmith into popularity was a songwriter actually coming in and doing their songs for them. Not like playing the instruments and shit, but like writing out the songs for them. And that's when Aerosmith really took off in the '80s. But yeah, man, it was a decent debut album. Nothing too memorable other than Mama Kin and Dream On. One thing that I did take away from this album, though, that I think is missing in today's music, is not only can you differentiate the bass to the guitars, but you can't do it anymore in today's music. But I like the split audio. How in one ear you have something, in the left ear you have something. Like I like that. It's an old school drawback, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, man. I think it's just a lost, not art, but like a lost little trick that I think a lot of bands don't do anymore. That I think has gone away, and I don't know if it's for good or bad, but they don't do it
Yeah.
anymore. So it's when it happens, you can definitely tell it.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of that when we were doing the whole Zeppelin episodes.
Yep,
They do that a lot, a lot, a lot. But yeah,
yep,
definitely it definitely went away pretty quick.
definitely, dude. What was your favorite song?
Oh, so my favorite song, I'm not gonna do Dream On, but I'm gonna do the other one, Mama Kin. I think that one shined through the most for me.
Okay, interesting. For me, I got to do Moving Out. I think Moving Out was like kind of like a little bit of a chugger for me, more so than a lot of the other songs. So
Yeah,
for me personally, I think I got to go with Moving On. Least favorite?
it has to be the 7 minute song, bro. One Way Street. I just could not listen to that one again.
Yeah, I agree. That one I could have done without, especially at 7 minutes.
Yeah,
If it was a 3 minute and like 5 second song, maybe, but 7 minutes, nah, can't do it. Can't do it.
no.
So that sums up Aerosmith. And before we get into Boston, ladies and gentlemen, one more reminder. Please do us a favor and go to X, go to Instagram, go to YouTube, hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit that share button, and subscribe to us on YouTube and let the world know we're getting all news, hard rock, and heavy metal right here on this channel, Riffs Reloaded. We appreciate all of you tuning in each and every time you do. Now, let's move over to Boston, bro. Coming in in 1976, August 25th, 1976, they released their debut album, Boston, which is funny because Aerosmith's debut is Aerosmith, Boston's debut is Boston. So, fuck it, makes it simple. So, we coming in with Boston's debut album, man. And before I get your take on this, I just got to say, dude, it's hard for any band to come out of the gates with a debut album and be fucking damn near flawless. But I think Boston did it on this record, dude. This is a phenomenal fucking debut record, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on record right now and say that this debut album from Boston is the greatest debut album from any classic rock band ever.
Really?
Ever.
Okay. Now, define classic rock for you. What's classic rock for you?
From the 60s throughout the 70s.
Okay. Because you do know, and this makes us old, that Metallica and even fucking Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains are played on classic rock stations now. Can you believe that shit, dude?
Yep.
Like, what the hell,
Yep.
bro? Like, come on, man. Like, that's insane, bro. But yeah, so
Yep.
greatest debut album ever from a classic rock band, huh?
Yep. 1%.
Damn.
Hands down.
Damn. That is saying
You
some shit.
you cannot tell me a different album that will change my mind. As of right now, you cannot tell me another album that could change my mind.
Interesting. I'm trying to wrap my head around it too, man. And because we've always said, if this song was on this album and this album was, it'd be a classic. Yeah, dude, I think I might have to agree with you, dude. This was a fucking phenomenal record, dude, from start to finish. It does not fucking let up, man. And let's just get right into it, dude. Track number one, we've got probably the most known Boston song of all time. Coming in at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, bro, we have More Than a Feeling, dude. What's your feeling on this song?
Oh man. So, just like I said, classic Boston. Everyone knows the guitar is fucking perfect. It is so good. This song will always be a timeless song as well.
Yep.
This song never gets old, no matter how many times that you listen to it. It's just that well produced and that well played. It's just amazing. And to kick off your debut album with this song too, like that's a bold choice because every song underneath it has to be that good as well, right? And that's a
Yep.
bold choice. And I think they succeeded that. Let's do it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And they fucking did it. But yeah, it was just a beautiful song with an amazing solo, man. And I, you can't say anything bad about More Than a Feeling.
I agree, dude. Rest in peace, Mr. Brad Delp, the singer, frontman of Boston, dude. But this is an iconic fucking song, dude. Great opener. The voice, the guitar work, the everything to this song, dude, is just phenomenal. I just can't believe that this song came out so long ago, but it sounds so fresh, so clean,
Mm-hmm.
so now. It
Yeah.
sounds like 2026. You know what I mean? The amount of effort that these guys put into this song and this album as a whole is a fucking understatement, dude. And this
Mm-hmm.
album, and I rarely say this, man, this album needs to be in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by itself
Yes.
as probably, as you said, the greatest fucking debut record from a classic rock
Mm-hmm.
band ever. Because goddamn, dude, when you start off with More Than a Feeling, and then imagine it's 1976. You pop this fucking 8 track in, whatever the fuck you're listening to, vinyl. You pop this some bitch in. You sit back, you light up a fucking doobie, you have a beer, and fucking this song comes on. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And like you're expecting like, okay, well the rest of the album can't be this good. And then you sit back, doobie, and 5 years later, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like They fucking brought it, dude. And this song is fucking iconic, man. Nothing more can be said about it. Everybody knows More Than a Feeling. Jumping over to track number two, 5 minutes and 2 seconds, bro. We've got Peace of Mind, man. What you think?
Peace of Mind. I love, love, love this song. Another banger, man. It's a free feeling song. It just makes you feel fucking free. Another road trip song. The chorus is catchy as fuck. It's so catchy, it just makes you want to sing, man. But I think this song is perfect. I think this is a perfect song. I really do. And the vocals are on point. The guitars are fucking beautiful. The drums are clean. And it's just everything about the song did right. And after Morning and a Feeling, Peace of Mind comes on. I'm buying the record 100% already, bro. It's that good. I love this song so much.
I agree, dude. In my notes, I got it's another masterpiece. I also got that this is rock and fucking roll. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I have in my notes, that this song is rock and fucking roll, dude. It's iconic again, man. You know, you've got that fucking amazing guitar work. Brad's voice, dude, is just like he could have been a fucking power metal singer,
Dude,
dude.
easy.
Like, god damn, bro. Like, holy shit.
Easy.
Like, Freddie Mercury, sit the fuck down, bro. Like, let's get us some
Yeah.
fucking Brad Delp in this bitch, dude. Like, holy shit, bro. Taking us over to track three, we've got Foreplay slash Long Time at 7 minutes and 47 seconds. It's a long song, Willie, but it did not feel like a long song. What'd you think?
No, it's definitely broken up into two parts. Just like the title is kind of foreshadowing it to be. But the piano is good, man. For the opening, it creates a epic atmosphere. And then the bass and the drums kick in with the piano is pretty cool. And then right after that's done, dude, you have a long time that kicks in, and it just fucking it fucks you in the face, bro. It hits you that hard that you're like on the ground. It comes in so smooth too.
Yep.
It like creeps the fuck in, and you're like, what the fuck's going on, bro? Because now we're back to like rock and roll, and your head banging your head, man. But it's a fun song to sing too. Another banger, another classic. Again, can't say anything bad, man.
Yep. It's pretty much what I got too. I says we keep it going. Foreplay is just that. It's getting you ready for the action. And then as soon as Long Time comes in, that fucking solo right at the beginning, dude, the band's coming in kicking ass. And that fucking organ too, bro. Like, holy
Mm-hmm.
shit, you know what I mean? But like how you just said though, like after Foreplay is done and we get into Long Time, I love the doom, 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 and
Mm-hmm.
then the fucking guitar solo. It's like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you're in for a ride after that, bro. Fucking
Yeah.
iconic, man. Iconic fucking song, dude. They can't miss, man. Three songs
No.
in, they can't fucking miss, dude.
Yep.
Taking us over to side two back then. Track number four, 2 minutes and 59 seconds, which is really short. We've got Rock and Roll Band, bro. What'd you think?
I adore the song so much, man. The main riff is fun. You have a walking riff with Boston too, but it's
Yep.
done differently. It doesn't sound bluesy. It sounds
Nope.
rock and roll. You have
Yep.
a rock and roll riff, man, and the chorus you can just sing along to. It's so easy to the ears too. It's just a fun song, man,
Yep.
and I think this was the song I put on repeat the most going back to it. I don't know why, but it was. It's just a fun song. I can't say anything bad.
Yep, I agree, dude. It's a really fun song. The guitar, all of it, dude. I love how in the song when he gets into the chorus and he was like, "Rock and roll band going crazy," and then you get the fucking guitar that fucking like holy shit, bro! It just like sets it off, dude. Fucking love this song, bro. Like you just said, man, I can't say anything much more about it. It's iconic, dude. They need to come out, and I know Brad's no longer with us, dude, but they need to find a way to celebrate this fucking album one more time, dude, and
Hmm.
let all these new fans nowadays, man, like come upon
Yes,
some Boston, dude, because it deserves to be heard in its entirety one
100%.
more time, especially on the fucking live stage, dude. Track number five, man, coming in at 4 minutes and 19 seconds. We've got Smoking, bro. What'd you think?
Another classic, man. Growing up, you heard the song all over the place as well. It's such a star power album, and this song again does not disappoint. It brings more star power, and it brings a little bit of like an attitude now
Yep.
to it too. And you're like, huh, this is a bit different from the other songs, but it's just as hard and heavy as the other songs.
Yep.
But yeah, and I think it's fun when he yells out "smoking" and the everything the band just like plays like with him. It's just like the way that they play together, I think, is the perfect fit, and his vocals and the riffs is just a perfect match, man.
Yep. After this album, dude, this should have been the biggest band in the world.
Yep.
Hands down, this should have been the biggest band in the world at this time.
Yes.
Like they should have been on full blown arena stadium tours across the globe, dude. Like they should have been the band of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the way that GNR blew up, they should have blew up the same way.
Yep. And GNR was 10 years later.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck was it that stopped Boston from blowing up as big as they should have been with this debut album, dude? Like,
I know.
there's not a bad track. We're fucking 5 songs into this and we have not hit a bad track yet. Like, what
No.
the fuck? You know what I
Yep.
mean? This band should have been the biggest band. Like, they should have been everywhere, dude, playing everywhere. But, I don't know, man. I'm gonna do some deep dive into that, bro. Taking us over to track number 6. We've got 4 minutes and 11 seconds. We have Hitch a Ride, bro. What you think?
Man, I think this was a perfect placement for this song. I dig the acoustics. It's catchy in the perfect way. It's a nice pace after all the bangers, right? You have this one, but the way that it starts off like it's going to be a different song, but then it it progresses into what we have heard the past 5 songs, and it's just and then the fucking trade off of the solos, man,
Yep.
is like it blows my mind. Back in '76, they're trading off like that. Like
Yep.
this is like some like maiden trade, shit. It's like they're just trading off back and forth, back and forth. And I
Yep.
was like, I was not expecting when this song started. That's what I was gonna get, but I got it, and it's another great song, bro.
Yep, agreed, man, 100%. I love in this song too how you've got the the acoustic coming in, right, and then you got the fucking into that big ass powerful fucking lead up, and then all of a sudden he comes in with that calming vocals, gonna hit you
Mm-hmm.
right, dun,
Mm-hmm.
dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just fucking, oh my god, bro, put it in my veins and fuck me with it, dude. Love this fucking song, dude. Track number 7, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. We've got Something About You. What'd you think, man?
Slower intro, um, but then it kicks you in the face with that electric guitar riff. It just melts your face as soon as it hits you, man. The vocals come in, and it's just at this point in the album, man, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? You're kind of pissed that it's this fucking good because it does
Right.
not stop. It won't stop, and we're 7 songs
Right.
in, and I'm like mad because something
Yeah.
has to change. So I can't even put like words to it because it irritates me that it's so good, man.
Yep, I agree, dude. It's another banger, man. They can't miss. It's just fucking incredible, dude. And how you said it makes you almost pissed off that it doesn't
Hmm.
stop. Imagine hearing this album in its entirety live. It's like, when do I get up and take a piss, man?
Yeah,
Like, I
dude.
can't, bro. Like, what the fuck, dude? And sometimes that's a fucking good thing, dude. You know what I mean? Is to leave them
Hmm.
there in their fucking seats or standing on their feet, dude,
Yep.
and don't let them leave. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Don't let them catch a breath, bro, because it's just incredible, bro. Track number 8, closing this out. We've got 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Let Me Take You Home Tonight, man. What do you think?
Man, so track number 7, I was like mad because it's so good, and then track number 8 started, and I was sad because it's ending. I was like, I did not
Bipolar
want,
motherfucker.
dude, I did not want this album to end. I could have had 8 more songs on this album. I wanted more. I
Yep.
wanted so much more. But it's a fun fucking closer, man. It's a feel good song to end this epic album. A catchy chorus again. The riffs don't just it doesn't suck. Nothing sucks. It's a bit slower, but I'm definitely not mad.
No.
It's that's the whole album, bro.
I just put this one sentence on my notes about this final song, dude. I said they proved they could make a flawless debut record. That's what I put.
The
That's how
end.
I summed it all up, dude. From
Yep.
start to finish, there was not a bad song on here. There was not a filler song on here.
Nope.
This should be studied on how to create an iconic debut fucking record, bro. There's only
Yeah.
a couple other albums out there, man, and the only one I can think of off the top of my head right now as we speak that I think is another flawless debut record. But I can't, other than this one, dude, and then one other one that I'm thinking of, I can't think of another flawless
Mm-hmm.
debut record. This was that fucking damn good, dude.
I told you in the beginning, bro. There is not another debut album from a classic rock band that is better than Boston's debut album. It's not. You cannot prove me wrong. No one can prove me wrong. You in the comments, trust me, you cannot prove me wrong. this album is a masterpiece. The formula that they had back in '76 needs to be like eaten and like fucking vaccinated because we all need that in our blood because it's so powerful, man. It's so
Yep.
good.
Yeah, it's an iconic debut record, dude. You literally can't say anything bad about this record. You can't. There's not one
No,
possible thing you can say wrong about this record, dude.
no.
That's insane. You always could pick out one thing here or there, two things here or there on an album,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't on this one. It's
No.
flawless from start to finish. It's flawless. You've got everything from the guitar work to the fucking backing of the fucking drums and bass to the fucking frontmans and the vocals, dude. It's
Yep.
all here, and it's like it's almost too good. You know
Yep.
what I mean? It's almost as if like it was made to be too good without intending to be too good, bro. It's like I wonder
I
if
I
they
think
knew
I
what
know
they
where.
had.
Yes, I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, dude, I wonder if they knew what they had at the time that they were creating this. I wonder if they knew of how not only influential and iconic this album would be, but that this is absolutely flawless.
I think that they knew a little bit, and it was that good, and they couldn't do it again, and that's why they didn't take off.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, dude. I will say too that there are a couple other classic Boston songs on some other records
Yep.
that even if they were put on this record, I don't think it would change how just good this fucking record is, dude. I remember when we went
No.
back and we did Alice in Chains versus Nirvana in the debut albums, right? And I said, Alice in Chains, iconic band, but their first album was kind of weak for me. You know what I mean? There was like it would tell of two halves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you could have taken half of the second record and mixed it with the good half of the first record, it would have been a flawless record. This
Yep.
record is flawless, fucking flawless right out the
Yeah.
gates, bro. Insane. Absolutely insane. With that said, now it might be hard. What was your favorite song?
Oh, so this was a really hard one for me to pick, man. I went back and forth between two of them, and the two I went back and forth between is "Peace of Mind" and "Rock and Roll Band."
Hmm.
And I think for me, I'm gonna have to go with "Peace of Mind" as my favorite song.
Can't go wrong with that, bro. I was kind of in the same boat. I was fighting between two songs, but they were not the same two songs that you were fighting with.
Okay.
My two songs were "Foreplay Long Time" and
Oh.
"Hitch a Ride." And I
Oh.
think I gotta go with "Hitching a Ride," bro.
All right.
I don't know what it is about that song, dude, but every time it comes on, I don't know if this is the calming of the acoustic before it gets into the whole groove of it, but I love that song, dude. And I could have picked any one of these songs on this record to be a favorite of mine. Any one
Yeah.
of these songs. I remember fucking playing fucking. Now, don't rip me up in the comments, folks, okay? I knew this song before it was ever invented, talking about Guitar Hero. But I remember playing fucking Guitar Hero and playing More Than a Feeling on easy. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Let me move it up into hard. I was fucked. I couldn't fucking do shit with it, bro. But it still goes to show you how great this song is today that companies that make Guitar Hero are still adding this song and letting the new generation of rock and roll fans understand and acknowledge of how great the shit was back then, bro.
Yep. Yep.
Might be
Um,
hard to do, but do you have a least favorite on this record?
I for the first time in the history of Riffs Reloaded, this is gonna be my one cop out, and I cannot pick a bad song on this record.
I actually have to agree with you because I literally have it right here in my notes. I said I don't have one. I can't pick one.
No,
I
I
really
can't.
can't. It's like you can even like go through with a fine tooth comb and like pick out things here and there. You can't do that either.
Nope.
It's a flawless staple of history.
Yep. This
Period.
is probably the perfect rock and roll album. If someone came to you and said, "I don't know anything about rock and roll, show me," you
Yep.
put this album on, and that's all you need to say. You don't even have to say anything. You just put
Nope.
it on. This
Yep.
is rock and roll.
And if they don't understand it or if they don't like it or if they don't get it, then they're a lost cause. Move on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Flat out, plain and simple.
Yep. This album was like so perfect. Is I bought this album because it was so good. I'm gonna buy this fucking album because it's that good. I have to.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. Supporting the fucking classic rock, bro. We have to, man, or else we're going to get stuck with more shit like we have today, which is fucking
Yep.
garbage.
Yep.
All right. So I think it's pretty safe to say, man, who won between Boston versus Aerosmith in the battle of the debut albums?
Hands down, bro. Boston, easy.
I agree, dude. I agree. Some inner turmoil within the band pretty much split them up before they could really reach their full potential. I think Boston could have been as big, if not bigger, than Aerosmith wound out to be, dude. But I agree, Boston won the battle of the debut albums on this. And I also have to say, too, that Boston had the better debut album cover.
Oh, 100%. 100 down to the cover, bro. Down to the cover. The cover, the tracks, the songs, everything about it is just perfect. It's
Yep,
a perfect everything. This band's
I
perfect.
agree. I agree. So, with that being said, putting a bow on tonight's episode, man, is there anything more you want to add to these two?
No, I'm really enjoying these debut albums, and I'm really enjoying these classic rocks, man. I know we had another band in mind that we're gonna go up against Boston, and I'm sure we'll save that band for a different episode. But yeah,
Yep.
these classic rocks episodes are beginning to be some of my favorite episodes, bro.
Yep, agreed. And out there, to all of you, if you got any comments, if you'd like to see us cover any iconic classic rock debut albums from the past, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want covered right here on this podcast of Riffs Reloaded. And I cannot end the episode without saying that Aerosmith's debut album will be re-released later on this year. I think it's in March 20th of 2026. So just 3 weeks away is the re-release of Aerosmith's iconic debut album. So looking forward to that, man, and hopefully more newer fans catch on to more classic rock and they start bringing out some better stuff than what's being played today. But putting a bow tie on all that, man, I just want to say to all you out there, thank you so much for supporting us in any way that you do. Please like, comment, share, follow, do the whole 9 yards right here on Risk Reload. You can find us on X, Instagram, YouTube. Just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the share button. That's all we ask for you to do. And hit us up in the comments, man. Did you like tonight's episode? What other classic rock debut albums do you want us to see go head to head? Please let us know in the comments. And with that being said, Willie, I think we're out of this one, dude. Another banger in the books.
Absolutely. Talk to you all later. Peace out.
Later on.